In just 32 days from now, we'll be making the trip from the parking garage to Halloween Horror Nights, where the streets have no name. I'm gonna spend this after work trip just walking around and seeing what we could peep out as far as updates around the park. First stop to the left of Aunt Tahito's. This is a giant rain cloud, but under that rain cloud is Universal's great movie Escape. Escape room still coming, TBD on when it'll open up. That escape room will be based on classic Universal Studios properties, and I would put money on it opening in time for Horror Nights. As far as parks go, we're gonna take a spin around Hours of Adventure first. The adventure begins. Well, take two. I had to buy this cheap umbrella because it started to have some pretty big drizzle drops. If you're coming here for Horror Nights, be prepared. It poured the first night last year. Seuss Landing construction walls are down over here. Carousel is back up and working. The air conditioning as you walk past Cat in the Hat is pretty glorious. No more walls around Circus McGurkus either. I think that was just general upkeep and TLC happening. The candy store is open, but the cotton candy place, Honkers, still closed. Oh boy, now the hippogriff is behind walls. His flame is out. They're looking for a new pope. What is happening here? Poseidon's Fury is reopened. We went on this, or went through it, last time we were at the park and open. Check out that video up above. Our big first stop is the All Hallows Eve Boutique. You see their sign where they are asking folks if you want to pay to have your picture at the Hhn Tribute Store. I think it's like $129 or something like that to take your picture and have it up on the wall at the Tribute Store. But if you want to, you can inquire within. Let's check out what's going on in here.
Did you see that woman that I sent you? She has those little tiny Victoria.
Ooh, classic Halloween decorations. And look at some of the shirts that are in here. This is really cool. I just wonder if it's like old stock, because this is 2019. You have the Blumhouse house shirt in here. Some monster stuff. Universal monsters. Ooh. Oh.
It's not necessarily the money right, but yeah, it's like the ones that we got in, look at they were really up to now, and now I don't know if they're going to switch. Because like last year we had ones that were based on Asian, so like when they were one, but after that it was overwhelming. Like the one on like last year I did the Universal Monsters one was prior.
But the old fashioned one. Okay, I see that. Gorgeous. It's exactly that kind of thing.
Some more monster stuff here. I like the lunch boxes. Oh, I like that too. That cat is the devil. Oh my.
This year the big one sold like
Oh wow.
Yeah, there it is. Okay. You walk through
people outside, so they're like they're gonna call it
Oh my god. Did you hear that?
games on it. Like, so it's like such a professional.
Okay.
That's why I love it. My daughter doesn't
Okay.
so it's fun. I love it. I do get special because I have a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
I honestly really like that. You walk scared. Yeah. So yeah, I recommend it.
Okay.
If you are a little okay, yeah, I'll be here. Right now I'll be here. But yeah, like I said, we don't know what culture and those ones.
And we've got the Hhn ornaments here. Skeleton pooping. And lunch boxes. More Universal Monsters. This is so cool. Very classic Halloween. Little Frankie bags. Spirit boards. Scary hot sauce. So scary. Check out those magnets.
We're going to one night and we're gonna do really chill. I'm going and I'm gonna
Scary candles.
express house. There's gonna be houses
Oh, there's even stuff up above. It's very thorough. All right, back out into the rain. Actually, should be easy to walk around now, or easier. Sunny and raining. The rain has certainly cut down the amount of people to have to fight through in here. As we walk through here, I should note that you can now get butterbeer without the dairy topping on top. So if you have a dairy issue, they've got you covered now, finally. 10 years later. Or 12 years, I think. The best castle in Orlando? You let me know. Welcome to Jurassic Park. Dinosaurs. This concrete is incredibly slippery with these like Vans type of shoes. Holy cow. More walls. More walls up over here because I think the spears that are sticking out of the ground, people were peeling the characters off of them. Interesting selection of characters. Mr. Fantastic, Captain Marvel, Falcon, Hawkeye, Vision, Hulk, Iron Man, Spidey, Storm, the Hulk. Well, it was hot before, and now after the rain, coming off the ground, the humidity is unbelievable. It's like walking through one gigantic sauna. The adventure lives on. Making our way over to the studio side. How majestic. No signage up here yet. I'll give it another 2 weeks. I also think we'll probably know the rest of the houses within the next week or so. Always good that when you're coming in, it seems like everybody else is going out. We were here recently checking out some of the street construction for Horror Nights. We'll take another pass through, see if anything is new. Starting in Hollywood. This is keyword vampire scare zone. Nettlewoods, we almost forgot the S Cemetery. According to the latest spec map from our friends at HHN Nightmares, this is called Deadly Unrest. Makes sense. Vampires, unrest. Set piece is already taking a dinging here. I mean, you literally can't make signs big enough that say stay off. Speakers in here. Oh, nice and cool in here too. Some more set pieces. Lights as well. The set pieces are dinged up literally right over the sign that says do not climb. Ooh. We'll see what's happening in the Central Park area. This is said to be the Scarecrow scare zone. There's just metal trusses behind the black wraparound, maybe to be used as platforms. More lighting, more spooky speakers and lights. So much lighting. This is usually the most ambient, well-lit scare zone. Interestingly, there are lights up here. And this is not an announced scare zone. Back here by the Simpsons, usually when they have chainsaw clowns. I don't see other lighting towers back here though. Oh, more walls. I suspect that this has to be down in time for Horror Nights. This will be a nightmare getting around. Coming up on the home of Nightmare Fuel. Lots of lights up there. getting ready for the show, production-wise. Nothing back over here by the bridge. No little beverage or food tents yet. This is where the Chucky photo op was last year. There are lights up over here. These are more so like pathway type lights. Nothing interesting happens back here. More lighting over here, and this is used for the tail end of the scare zone that goes that way. The scare zone said to be over in this area is Coven Witches. Interestingly enough, that gigantic box that was in the middle of the street here is gone. And they replaced the bricks in the middle of the road with what looks like wood. This was the Rob Zombie scare zone a couple of years ago. The greatest scare zone of all time. Heading into New York, and this will be the Candy Mutants scare zone this year. Hopefully better than the scare zone they had last year. And of note, Scare Actor Dining is back this year. This time it's at Louis' pre-HHN nights. You do need a ticket the night of your Scare Actor Dining if you are attending Scare Actor Dining. Scare Actor Dining was in Monsters Cafe historically, but Monsters Cafe being torn down to be retrofit to Minions Cafe. The Palace Theater, my theater. Walls still up around the streets of New York, which I'm assuming they're still removing the bricks. Walls have been moved way out for Revenge of the Mummy, and queue line all the way out here with umbrellas for shading. I'm guessing this will reopen this week. Ooh, another stage for Horror Nights. Pretty minimal compared to what we've seen in years past here. We'll take a trip into the Tribute Store. This current Tribute Store for summertime will go away this Sunday. And then work will begin to transform this to the HHN Tribute Store. Goodbye, E.T. Making your planets rotate. Goodbye, kick-ass Jaws display. I love this. And I love this. Goodbye, amazing speaker. Too bad you never had the guitar photo op here. That would have made a lot of money. Roosevelt shirts. Will there be HHN Roosevelt shirts this year? I don't know. This King Kong photo op survived with some damage. Not too shabby. And our HHN Tribute Store clues continue to grow out here. Will reopen. Little Boo. Not gonna lie, the air conditioning in that store is freaking glorious. Last but not least, Monsters Cafe in the process of being destroyed. Spinning monsters still spinning, but wow. And even more wow around the corner here. On one side of the street, construction in the former Shrek building for the Minions ride. On the other side of the street, destruction for the Minion Cafe. And currently walking through what will be the traditional Halloween scare zone. And on that note, heading on out. Actually went back to guest services to get my HHN tickets. It's the one thing I wanted to do when I got here. I completely forgot. I walked out of the park and I had to walk back in. Ordered my HHN tickets online at Scare Actor Dining, just picked them up. Guest services, bing, so quick. It's another Lord of the Rings journey back to the car. If it seems like I'm totally drenched in sweat, it's because I am. It's like 103 degrees real feel right now. At 7 o'clock at night, the actual temperature outside is 96 degrees. And so like I thought when we filmed the video here a week and change ago, last week Universal announced the Weekend House. Coming at both coasts, both California and Florida. The internet erupted with mostly boos and some cheers. As mentioned in the last video, I am very much looking forward to that house. I think a lot of people came out and said, The Weekend, that's not horror. It's just as much horror as Alice Cooper or Marilyn Manson or any of the rock acts that are out there. His music and videos are filled with horror imagery. I think there's a great deal of closed-mindedness because it doesn't fit the atypical rock and roll, shock jock type of stuff. Rap music can also be horror-driven. there's other mediums that can be hard driven. There's a lot of folks that just say that they don't want a music house altogether, and all I can say is it's one house out of 10. So literally 10% of the stuff. And if you're coming here on a one-night basis, chances are you're probably not going to get through all 10 houses to begin with, unless you have Express Pass or RIP to begin with. So you could skip the house. There's houses every year that I don't like, and we'll still go through them multiple times because it's part of the event. I'd say for those that are on the fence about the weekend house, give it a chance. Go through it. If you don't like it, you don't have to go back through, or if you don't want to go through, then don't go through. But the outcry on social media is just mind-boggling. There's been many years that I've said that I wish that Universal would focus on original properties, and this is kind of that year. I think by way of, as we've discussed in videos for years leading up to this, especially with Fox being bought by Disney and Warner Brothers doing their own haunted event and stuff, the ability or the resource amount of IPs out there to be able to partner with continually shrinks. There was never going to be a Stranger Things house this year. Stranger Things maybe next year, but quite honestly, the years that they did Stranger Things, I thought the first year was pretty good. The second year, not the best. And then you have IPs like Walking Dead, where people were so sick of Walking Dead that every year they were bitching and moaning that they wanted The Walking Dead to go away. And now I see people online saying bring Walking Dead back. Universal themselves, pictures-wise, movie pictures-wise, they don't release a ton of horror properties. So the amount of IPs is relatively small to be able to draw from. So the Universal monsters, obviously the biggest ace in the hole for them. The ability to work with other studios to borrow or license some of their properties. I mean, the other studios can name their price, and then they have say over how their properties are being presented. Last year, in the year before for the one day, I was very surprised to see Beetlejuice as a house here, even though Beetlejuice as a property has been represented in the parks here for years. I think the reason why they had the house is because they've had that relationship with Warner Brothers over that property for so many years. But in any event, we have a slew of original houses that will be announced, likely all at one time like they've done in the past. Some of them are look better than others. One of them is around bugs, which, I mean, I'll be honest, living in Florida, the bugs are gigantic. I can't imagine what they'll do in a bug type of house here, but for all of the types of things that people could be scared of in Florida, I hate bugs, so I can't imagine going through that house and not being completely skeeved out. In any event, we're getting out of here. Thanks a lot for coming along. Thank you very much for all of your likes, comments, and subscriptions. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a great night. We'll see you guys. Subscribe to the cheap seats. Otherwise, they'll be looking in your dreams for you.